My husband dumped me while I was 8 months pregnant, so I moved across the country. When Jake told me he wanted a divorce at 35 weeks pregnant, I was devastated. We'd been married 4 years, together for 8. He said he wasn't ready to be tied down with a baby and wanted his freedom back. The timing couldn't have been worse. I was huge, emotional, and had just finished setting up the nursery in our Denver apartment. The irony? I'd paid for most of it with my grandmother's inheritance money that Jake initially said we should save for our future together. Jake wanted me to move out immediately so his friend Madison could help him through this difficult time, right? I'd seen her bright red BMW in our driveway 3 times that week while I was at my prenatal appointments. When I confronted him, he said she was just a coworker helping him process his feelings about becoming a father. The audacity was unbelievable. This man had literally picked out baby names with me 2 months earlier, assembled the crib with his own hands, and posted ultrasound photos on Instagram with captions about being ready for fatherhood. But here's what Jake never understood about me. I'm originally from a small town in Ohio, where my family runs one of the most successful construction businesses in the state. My dad started Miller Construction in 1985 with 1 truck and built it into a company with 200 employees. Jake always made snide jokes about my blue-collar family, calling my hometown Nowhereville and saying it was full of people with no real ambition. At every family gathering, he'd tell embarrassing stories about how I grew up poor even though my family was actually quite wealthy. He just couldn't understand that some people choose not to flaunt their money. For years, my dad had been asking me to come back and help modernize the business. He wanted to expand into commercial real estate development and needed someone with my marketing background and MBA. I'd always said no because Jake insisted his finance career in Denver was more important than my family hobby business. So I called my dad that night crying and told him everything. Within 48 hours, he'd arranged a job offer with a $75,000 salary plus profit sharing. Within a week, my 3 brothers drove out with 2 moving trucks. Jake was absolutely furious when he came home to find me packing. He accused me of trying to kidnap his unborn child and turn his family against him. I calmly explained that I couldn't afford to live in Denver as a single mother, especially not in our expensive neighborhood. He demanded I stay until after the birth. I told him he was welcome to visit Ohio anytime, but if he wanted regular custody, he'd need to move there since traveling with a newborn wasn't realistic. That's when he really lost it. He screamed that I was manipulating the situation and trying to destroy his career. His finance job had no Ohio locations, and he'd worked too hard to throw it all away for a small town life. I reminded him that he was the one who wanted the divorce, not me. The move was actually amazing. My parents bought me a beautiful 4-bedroom house as a welcome home gift. My mom took early retirement to help with the baby. My brother's wives threw me a baby shower that was bigger than my wedding. 2 weeks after I moved, my daughter Emma was born, healthy, beautiful, and surrounded by family who actually wanted her. Jake flew out for the birth, took a few photos for social media, then left after 2 days because he couldn't take more time off work. That's when my lawyer called with the best news. Ohio's child support calculations are much stricter than Colorado's, and they factor in the father's full earning potential. Jake's Denver salary of $120,000 means he'll be paying $1,247 per month until Emma turns 18. He was so confident I'd come crawling back within a month. Instead, I've been promoted to head of business development. Emma has 4 uncles who spoil her rotten, and I just bought my own house with the money I'm saving. Last week, Jake called crying, begging me to move back to Denver. He said Madison turned out to be using him for his money, and he realized he made the biggest mistake of his life. He promised to be a better husband and father if I just give him another chance. I told him I was happy he'd learned and grown, but I'd moved on too. The final twist? Madison didn't just use him for money. She's been posting photos from inside our old apartment on Instagram, showing off her new place to all our mutual friends. Turns out, she never planned to leave.